Yes, thank you, students. In this class, we are going to talk about calculations of total free and independent floats. Calculation of total free and independent floats. That's what we are going to discuss. Okay, so a problem will be given to us. Uh, that is a project scheduling will be given to us, and our aim is to find all these floats calculation. Total float we have to calculate, free float and independent floats, all those things we have to calculate for the given data. Now these are the activities given to us. uh, the first activity is 0 to 1, second activity is 1 to 2, third activity is 1 to 3, and this is 2 to 4, 2 to 5, 3 to 4, 3 to 6, 4 to 7, 5 to 7, 6 to 7. And these are the corresponding time taken for these activities. To complete the first activity, 2 years are needed. To complete the second activity, 8 weeks enough, like that. Okay, to finish the last activity from 6 to 7, it needs 8 years. Okay, so this is the data given to us in the form of a question. Our aim is to calculate all these floats, FLOATs, floats we say. Now first of all, for the given data, let us draw the picture for that. Okay, that is for our first aim. To given data, we have to draw the picture. First activity, you write here 0, 1 here, first event, and 1, second event, 2, third event, 3, fourth event, this is fifth event, this is sixth event, this is seventh event, this is eighth event, like that. You draw the event first. Okay, then divide the event into two parts. Divide this into two parts, down two parts. Okay, this is earliest time, this is latest time. Similarly, for all the events, we have to divide into two parts. First place is for earliest time calculation, second one is for latest time calculations. Right, now after doing this, you connect according to this order given to us. 0 is connected to 1, so you connect this one. 1 is connected to 2, 1 is connected to 2. You have to draw the picture like that. 1 is connected to 3, so 1 is connected to 3. You have to draw like that. 2 to 4, yeah, 2 to 4 is connected. 2 to 5, 2 to 5 is connected. 3 to 4 is connected here. 3 to 4 is connected. 3 to 6, 3 to 6 is connected here. 4 to 7, 4 to 7, yeah, correct. 5 to 7, yeah, it is okay. And then 6 to 7, this one. Then side by side, we have to write the time taking also. Take for example, the first activities take 2 years. So write in that particular activity, write 2 years. 1 to 2, 8 years. Here 1 to 2, 8 years. 1 to 3, 10 years. 1 to 3, 10 years. 2 to 4, 6 years. 2 to 4, 6 years. 2 to 5, 3 years. 2 to 5, 3 years, like that. On the side of the activities, we are writing the time taken to finish the particular activities. Right. Then after doing all these things, we have to find out the earliest time and latest time. Okay, 0 plus 0 plus 2, 2 will come here. Then 2 plus 8, 10 will come here. 2 plus 10, 12 will come here. And here there are two arrows are ending here, so which is maximum. We have to write earliest time. 10 plus 6, 16, and here 12 plus 3, 15, so 16 is the maximum. You write that. 16 plus 5, then afterwards here 10 plus 3, 13, 10 plus 3, 13, and here 12 plus 7, 19, 12 plus 9, 17. Now there are three arrows are ending here. We have to find the earliest time in the three ways, which is the maximum value that we have to write here. So if you come this way, 13 plus 5, 15 will come here. If you come this way, 16 plus 5, 21 will come. But if you come this way, 19 plus 8, 27 comes. So this is the maximum value. So in the forward pass calculations, the maximum value only you have to write. So this maximum value you are writing here as the latest time. This is what the latest time. Now subtract and write. 27 minus 8, 19. 27 minus 2, 25. 25. Then here 27 minus 5, 22. 19 minus 7, 12. Right here what take place when we go the backward pass, we have to write the minimum value. Okay, so 25 minus 3, it will give you 22, whereas 22 minus 6, it will give you 16. So 16 is the least number we have to write here. Similarly, there are two arrows are ending here. When we come backward pass, we have to write the minimum value. 19 minus 7, 12. 22 minus 9, 19 will come there. You should not write 19, you have to write only 12. Okay, right, you come to here again, there are two arrows are starting from that, so we have to come this way, we have to come this way, which is the minimum we have to write here. 16 minus 8, what will get? 8 will get. Here 12 minus 10, you'll get 2. So it is the minimum, 2 is the minimum that you have to write here. Then 2 minus 2 becomes 0. Thus, we can calculate earliest time and latest time. Earliest time and latest time for each and every events here. Okay, events we can find earliest time and latest time. So that calculation is over. That calculation is over. Now we are making a tables like this. We are making a table like this. In this table, first the earliest time, then latest time, total float, free float, independent float. All this we are going to calculate for each and every activity. 0 to 1 is the first activity. What is the earliest time? What is the latest time? What is the total float? What is the free float? What is the independent float? 1 to 2 is another activity. We have to find out the earliest time, which is start and finish. Latest time, what is the start, what is the finish. Total float of the second activity. The free float of the second activity. Independent float for the second activity. Like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 activities. We have to find all these terminology in project analysis. Total float, free float, independent floats. Okay, total float can be calculated this way, free float can be calculated this way, and independent float can be calculated this way. So this we will see afterwards. Okay, this we have to apply the formula, but before that we need these two columns, these four columns we need actually. Now look at the picture here. The earliest time of what? Earliest time of the events. Earliest start time, this is called earliest start time, and this is called what? Latest. Earliest start time here, and then what we have here is about earliest finish time, earliest finish time, earliest start time. So earliest start time, earliest finish time, latest start time, latest finish time. Earliest start time, earliest finish time, latest start time, latest finish time. Earliest start time, earliest finish time, latest start time, latest finish time. Earliest start time, earliest finish time, latest start time, latest finish time. Earliest start time, earliest finish time, latest start time, latest finish time. Earliest start time, earliest finish time, latest start time, latest finish time. Like that. For each and every activity we have to find out. Okay. Take for example the first activity I am taking there 0, 1. 0, 1 here. I am finding out the earliest time first. Okay. So earliest time. Afterwards we'll find out the latest time. earliest time of the first activity 0, 1. Okay, so earliest start time is what? 0. What is the earliest finish time? 2 for the first activity. Right. For the second activity means 2, 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is the second activity. In that activity, what is the start time? The earliest start time is 2 and earliest finish time is 10. So second activity, earliest start time is 2 and earliest finish time is 10. 1 to 3, that is here 1 to 3. The earliest start time is 2 and earliest finish time is 12. Earliest start time is 2 and earliest finish time is 12. 2 to 4, and next one is 2 to 4 here. Earliest start time is 10 and earliest finish time is 16. Earliest start time is 10, earliest finish time is 16. Now come to 2 to 5. 2 to 5, 2 is here, 5 is here. The earliest start time is 10, earliest finish time is 13. So 2 to 5, earliest start time is 10 and earliest finish time is 13. Now 3 to 4, where is 3 to 4? Here it is 3 to 4. Earliest start time is 12 and the earliest finish time is 15. Don't say it's 16 because we have to add and we have to write it. But actually 16 coming this way, we have to write maximum. That's why we have written maximum. But we have to calculate. So here 10 plus 3, 15. So earliest time for this activity 3 is 12 and 15 is the earliest finish time. Where's the 3 to 4? 3 to 4, see 12 and 15. Here 12, here 15 should come there. 16 you should not write because when we do forward pass, we take the maximum value from different ending of the arrow, so that you should not write that. So students are making mistake in that. Be careful. Exactly we have to calculate and then we have to write 12 plus 3, 15. Start time, earliest start time 12, earliest end time or finish time 15, like that. 3 to 6, 3 to 6, 3 to 6 is here. The earliest start time is 12 plus 7, 19. So earliest start time is 12 and earliest finish time is 19. That is 3 to 6, like that. We can calculate 4 to 7, 5 to 7, 6 to 7. Okay, everything we have to write in the earliest time. So that is what we say as earliest start time, earliest finish time for each activity. Here 10 activities. Now come to the latest start and latest finish. In this particular event, this is the latest start time. Latest start time. This is what the latest finish time. Latest start time, latest finish time. So latest start time for 0 to 1 is 0 and the finish time is 2. Latest start time is 0, finish time is 2. So latest, this one, start time is 0 and finish time is 2. Come next one, 1 to 2. 1 is here, 2 is here. 1 is here, 2 is here. Now this is what latest start time 2. Okay, then what about this latest start time? Is that 2 here? No, because if you come exactly, what will get here? 16 minus 8. 16 minus 8. You have to write here 8, but 2 we have written because 2 ways we are calculating. The minimum we have to write when we come backwards, that you should not write. You have to calculate and you have to write. 16 minus 8, 8. So 8 is the latest start time for this activity, 1 to 2, and finish time is 16. 8, 16 will come there. That's what we are seeing here. 8, 16. 8, 16. Now come to the activity 1, 3. Come to the activity 1, 3. Where's that? 1, 3 is the activity. Am I correct? 1, 3 is the activity. In this activity, what is the latest start, what is the latest finish. That's what we have to calculate. Okay, what is that? 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Okay, now look at that here. The exact value is this, 12 minus 10 2. Therefore the latest start time is 2 and latest finish time or latest end time is 12 for this activity 1 to 3. The latest start time is 2 and latest end time or finish time is 12. So like that we have to calculate the latest start time, latest finish time. 2 to 4, the latest start time is 12 and latest end time is 22. For 2 to 5, the latest start time is 12 and the finish time is 25. 3 to 4, latest start time is 19, here 22. For 3 to 6, 12, 19. For 4 to 7, 22, 27. For 5 to 7, 25, 27. For 6 to 7, 19, 27. So like that we have to calculate the latest time and earliest time. Earliest time. In the earliest time, what is the start, what is the finish. In the latest time, what is the start, what is the finish. Okay, so this one, two, three, four columns we have to calculate. Then only we can find out the total float. What is the total float? Okay, you look at this. Total float is the difference of the earliest start and latest start, or earliest finish and latest finish. Earliest start, I can expand this so that you can clearly see that. Okay, now look at that. Now look at that here. The total float is equal to the difference between the start of the earliest and the start of the latest. Okay, so that the picture is not coming here, so I have to minimize so that you can see that. Okay, look at this here. Look at here. Total float equals the start of the earliest time minus start of the latest time, or finish of the earliest time minus finish of the latest time. So that means what? Here start, here start. So difference of these two, or difference of these two, difference of these two, start and start, or the difference of finish and finish, both will give you the same answer. That is called the total float for each and every activities. For each and every activities, the total float is nothing but the difference between start, start, or finish, finish. Start, start of this earliest and latest, or finish and finish of the earliest and latest. That will give you the total float. Okay, that will give us what we call the total float. Now let us minimize and we'll check whether the calculations are correct or not. Okay, as you look at that here, start, start, that will give you total float for the first activity. Okay, I can take this one, that would be better. Which one? Yeah, now look at that here. The difference, total float means what? The difference between start and start, or finish and finish. I take start and start. The difference of start and start. First activity 0 to 1. The start is 0, start is 0. 0 minus 0, 0. So straight to total float we have to write in that particular column. Okay. Second activity, the start is what? 2, and here the latest start is what? 8. So what's the difference? Only you have to write the difference. 6 you will have. Now come to the third activity. The start, earliest start is what? 2, 2, and the latest start is 2. 2 minus 2, 0, or 12 minus 12, 0. Anyway, we can say. Similarly, here 2 to 4, 10 minus 16, 6 is the difference. 10 minus 16, 6. You should not write the negative value here. Positive value only you have to write. 2 to 5, 2 to 5. The start time is 10 and end time is 22. Therefore, difference is 12. 3 to 4, start time is 12, end time is 19, so 7 is the total float. For 3 to 6, start time is 12 and start time is 12, 0. 4 to 7, the start time is 16, the start time is 12, we'll get 6. This is a total float for the activity 4 to 7. For 5 to 7, what we see here, start is what of 13 and the finish start of the latest is what 25. The difference is what 12. The last one 6 to 7, the start earliest start is 19 and latest start is 19. 19 minus 19, 0. Okay, so now look at that, in which places zeros are coming. Okay, so those are critical path, we say. In this critical path where the total float is 0, through that particular activities we draw a line. That line we call it as a critical path, that you keep in mind. Okay, so here 1 0 comes, so therefore 0 to 1. Here 0 comes 1 to 3, 0 comes 3 to 6, and then 0 comes 6 to 7. So this path 0 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 7. This particular path we call it as the critical path for this particular picture or project network, we can say. Now, how to find the free float? Free float calculations now we have to see. Free float means there is a formula here. Free float is equal to total float minus difference of the head events. Difference of the head events. Free float equals total float minus difference of the head events. Okay, now I will take this particular activity, the first activity 0 to 1. 0 to 1 is the first activity. Okay, 0 to 1 is what? The first activity. In this first activity, what is the total float? 0 is the total float. Okay, I will write, then you will understand that clearly. Now look at that activity 0 to 1 I am taking. Okay, 0 to 1 activity I am taking. For this I have to calculate total float. So total float would be equal to total float we have already calculated. Now we have to calculate the free float for that. That's a formula we have to understand. Okay, so free float only we need for the which activity 0 to 1. So 0 to 1 I want the free float. The free float formula is that total float minus total float minus difference of the head event. Difference DIFF, difference of head event. In that particular activity, head event, the difference we have to find out. Okay, difference of head event. Now let us calculate for the first 0 to 1 here. 0 to 1, the total float is what? 0, 0 minus. Now take this particular activity 0 to 1. 0 to 1, you take that activity. In that activity, head event is what is. Okay, in that head event, what is the difference between the latest time, earliest time? Okay, that we have to find out. Okay, 0 to 1 activity you are taking. For that, how to find out the free float? Total float already we have calculated 0 minus the difference of the head event. This is a head event for this particular activity. So difference of these two, that is 2 minus 2, 0. 2 minus 2 equals 0. So 0 minus 0, 0. Okay, so that's what we have here in this particular place. Free float, we have this 0 comes like this. Okay, so one more calculation I'm doing there. For next activity we'll find out what is the total float. Okay, next activity we'll find out free float, we'll find out there for next activity. Our next activity is 1 to 2. 1 to 2. For this, what we have to find out? We have to find free float. So free float, we know that total float. What is a total float for 1 to 2? Total float is 6. 6 minus the difference of the head event. 1 to 2, where is the event? Here 1 to 2, am I correct? The difference of the head event. This is the head event for this activity. The difference of this is 10 minus 16. 10 minus 16. So difference only you have to see. Don't see the sign. So 16. The difference is 6. So 6 minus 6 equals 0. 6 minus 6 equals 0. So this is the 0 that we have here. Okay. 0. Free float. 0. Free float. 0. So like this, we can calculate free float for each and every activities. We can calculate the free float. We can calculate the free float for each and every activities. Okay, this is somewhat some problem comes, software problems. See, this is what 12 and here 2, here how much? The activity 1 to 3, 1 to 3 is 10. This is earliest time, this is latest time. Okay, this is the way we can calculate the free float. The independent float has this particular formula. So independent float equals free float minus a difference of the tail events. Okay, the formula is independent float is equal to free float minus a difference of the tail events. Okay, take for example the first one I am taking there. I am finding out the independent float for the activity 0 1. For the activity 0 1, for the activity 0 1, I am finding out the independent event. Independent float. IF independent float. What is the formula? Free float. In that particular activity, what is the free float? 0 minus the difference of the tail event. The first activity is what? 0 to 1. In that 0 to 1, what is the tail activity? Tail event. The tail event is this. Okay. So in that tail event, what is the difference? In that tail event, what is the difference? That's what we have to calculate. Listen carefully. 0 to 1. 0 to 1 is this activity. In that activity, what is the free float? We have already calculated free float. Am I correct? That free float we have to write minus the difference of the tail events, the difference of the earliest time and latest time in the tail event. That's what we have to understand. So here the difference of the earliest time and latest time of the tail event is equal to 0 minus 0. So we'll get 0. Therefore, for 0 comma 1, 0 comma 1, the independent float is 0. The independent float is 0. This way we are calculating. Okay. So I will take and another one, 3 to 4. I will take and find out the independent float. Okay. 3 to 4. This activity I am taking and calculating the independent float. Okay. Right. Now which activity, 3 to 4 activity I'm going to take and find out the corresponding independent float for the activity 3 4. Okay, right. Now 3 to 4, where's 3 to 4? 3 to 4 is here, am I correct? 3 to 4 is here. For that I have to find the independent float. What is the formula? Independent float is equal to free float. Free float already we have calculated for that activity 3 to 4 minus difference of the tail event. Difference of tail event. Previously it was head event, now it is tail event. That is what the difference. Tail events. Difference means difference between latest time and now which activity we need 3 to 4. Okay, right, 3 to 4 we need independent float. What's the formula? Free float. So 3 to 4 the free float is how much? 1 minus, okay, 3 to 4. Look at the picture here, 3 to 4. Okay, look at the picture. This is what? 3 to 4. 3 to 4. Now look at that. The difference of the tail event in this particular activity, this is called tail event, this is called head event. In this tail event, the difference between the latest time and earliest time, that's what here, 12 minus 12. 12 minus 12, it becomes 0, am I correct? So 1 minus 0 equals 1. Therefore for the activity 3 to 4 the independent float is 1. Okay, so like that we can calculate the for the given the network. It is possible to find the earliest time, latest time, the start of the earliest time, finish of the earliest time, start of the latest time, finish of the latest time, total float, free float and independent float. For each and every activities it is possible to calculate. Okay, so with that we come to the end of this class. In the next class we will be taking another problem connected with this one. Okay, so thank you very much being here for the past more than half an hour. Okay, thank you.